is the final report for Jennifer Medeiros' Ma Meatballs business. One of my all-time favorite chefs is Julia Childs, and she was right. People who love to eat are the best people. Another great quote by Ina Garten is, "One of the greatest things you can give to people is to cook for them." I chose this business originally because I have a passion for cooking and I really like cooking for other people. I love to share that with as many people as I can. The other thing is there is a need for adult children to provide healthy meals to their parents who are alone or have cognitive issues. So this allows for them to give them some comfort food and make sure that their parent is getting the nutrition that they need to survive. A lot of the seniors can't get out anymore to go grocery shopping, and they don't have the energy to prepare and cook for themselves. So this is a huge need that's out there, and it was very evident in my research for cooking. I chose this home-based cooking business model because it was easy for me to cook from home. I could make bulk product and have it ready for pickup in my home, which is centrally located, so I'm no more than 10 minutes from any part of the city. One of my strategies was using social media as my marketing platform because it is low cost and would reach a large amount of people at one time. From that marketing strategy, I took advantage of word of mouth. It caught on very quickly between my family members, and I started receiving orders via Messenger on Facebook from family who live out of town, whose parent was in town by herself. She's fallen ill, so they were ordering. Each child every week would order dinners and lunches, so that was great. A few facts about cooking. Psychologically, cooking for others does have some therapeutic benefits. Cooking for others creates bonds, and from a customer point of view, it creates a relationship of trust because they trust you to make them some comfort foods, and the family trusts you that you are using the best ingredients. So there's that aspect of it. Mindfulness. Cooking for others creates a sense of mindfulness because when I'm cooking, I'm really putting my passion and my love in for flavor and cooking and just realizing that somebody's going to eat this and it's going to make them happy. So the other thing that's a big one for me is the sensory memories. Cooking really does trigger sensory memories from the smell of cooking, and I'm sure many of you have found that, the smell of fresh baked bread or something that your mother used to make. For me, it was pasta sauce simmering on the stove all day. Those are my comfort foods, and those are my go-to sensory memories. Creating food for others is also a form of nurturing and comfort, especially if you're looking to cook or purchase homemade foods for an elderly person who can't cook anymore. Also, I did donate some lasagnas to a friend of mine who lost her mom recently. This was during the micro business. So, I didn't charge her obviously for it because it was my form of comforting her and her family. So at first, my products included homemade meatballs, which I think are fantastic, and from the sounds of it, other people do as well. It's really hard to create a product, because your family thinks it's great, but it's another thing to trust that it's good enough to sell. So that was a big thing for me is I knew my meatballs were good, so that's what I went with. Um, but my menu quickly grew into including my meat lasagnas. I got requests, so tuna casserole, shepherd's pie, and different types of soups. I chose this business because I have a absolute passion for cooking. I do it all the time, and it's always on my mind. So it's kind of like second nature to me. My products are low cost to make, and the more I make in bulk, the cheaper it is for me to make. So that was a big plus for me. And also the demand for home cooking in this city is huge because there's a great population of aging parents. So this was a no-brainer. Some of the challenges that I faced with running this business was contacting public health. Number one, they're hard to connect with. And when I did connect, it was already 3/4 of the way through the business, and they stated I needed a separate dedicated hand washing sink along with separate storage, fridge space, that kind of thing. Fortunately, I had a friend in the business who allowed me to use his kitchen for free for the remainder of the business. The other thing was realizing that I was targeting the wrong target market. Originally, it was marketing to blue-collar construction workers, and by marketing on Facebook, they're not there. So the people who contacted me were women who are balancing their work life with raising kids, as well as caring for their aging parent. So that was quickly resolved when I changed my strategies. Having people not pick up their meals when they stated, because the meals are hot, if they don't pick them up, I had to quickly cool them off and freeze them and have them pick them up at a later date. So you don't get paid for the product, so that was one thing. The other thing was I was underpricing my products. For a 9 by 11 pan of lasagna, I was charging $15, where most of my competitors were charging $30 to $40 per. I think the biggest challenge for me throughout this whole process was actually creating presentations. I am terrible at it, and I was using presentation websites that had free demos and didn't realize I couldn't share them. So that was the biggest challenge for me. I'm 42, so we didn't use these types of platforms when I went to high school and college. So this is all new to me. So I think I did not bad considering. I think I've had a lot of success with this business because, number one, I learned a lot about running a business for myself. It's given me a clear understanding of how to cost out products and keep track of records. I did make a small profit. I've overcome a lot of obstacles by doing this, and the biggest realization is that this isn't really what I want to do right now with my time. I work part-time, and I thought I could run a home-based food service business on the side, but it is demanding a lot of my time, which I'd rather spend with my kids. So that was, I think, a success for me. Some of the takeaways for me are that I'm not ready to run a business from my home, cooking, that is. I'd rather be cooking because I like to cook and on my own terms. I learned a lot about creating presentations. I've learned that I can do it. And the overall takeaway is this was a great experience, and was happy to do it. Thank you.